Hi everybody, Allie here with ABC Bead Supply, and I'm here today to share with you some projects using 20 millimeter rhinestone beads. Our 20 millimeter rhinestone beads are our best selling bead, and they have restocked in a ton of colors this week on the website, so we've got a lot of availability to choose from. So we just thought we would show you how versatile they are and how they can look on different projects. So here we have the bubblegum pink rhinestone bead on a keychain. This project is featuring some items that are also in our clearance sale going on right now. This Happy Looks Good on You silicone bead, as well as these salmon tassels, are both retiring from the site and included in that 30 to 80% off clearance rack, which is an additional 20% off right now for a limited time. So a great time to stock up on those things and to duplicate this fun keychain project. This Stay Positive pen uses the Stay Positive silicone focal bead, and this is the Robin's Egg rhinestone, 20 millimeter rhinestone bead with an Orange Illusion 12 millimeter bead. And then we've got a fun Friends keychain for you. I think I might end up having to keep one of these. I've done a couple different Friends keychain designs, and I keep meaning to save one for myself and never do. So this might be the one. But it's got the Friends silicone focal, the bubblegum rhinestone bead is the color on this one. And I love this azure and red splatter bead with the Friends beads. It's really fun. So between these two, you've got your yellow, turquoise blue, and red. And then we've added a little bauble to the end of this chain with a 12 millimeter red illusion bead. And then last but not least, rhinestones are perfect for lanyards, absolutely perfect. They add lots of bling. They're the perfect statement bead. Absolutely love them on lanyards. So here it is with the Teaching as a Work of Heart silicone bead, a leopard 20 millimeter bead, and then the powder pink chalk matte bead. I love these chalk matte beads on anything that has an eraser on it because it just reminds me so much of an eraser with its detail. So let's walk you through making some of these projects. I'm not going to show you the pen. We've got a ton of tutorials on the pen, and it's really easy to snap this one together. There's really nothing fancy about it. So we'll save some time there, and then I'm going to show you assembling these other ones. We've got photos of all these projects and supply lists to duplicate each of them over on our website blog at abcbeadsupply.com. So you're going to start with a piece of stretchy elastic cord. This is the 1.5 millimeter stretchy elastic cord that we've got on the site. You're going to pre-stretch it to get any excess slack out of that so you don't get any sagging later when you use the keychain. Fold it in half and take the folded end, push it through the swivel portion of the keychain. Put your fingers through so that you can grab the other tails and loop that through the swivel. Then you're going to hold the two ends together. If your ends are no longer the same length after that, just give them a trim. And then we're going to go through and push the silicone smiley face on first. And then we've got an orange translucent pumpkin bead, bubblegum pink rhinestone. And then I am going to separate these two ends of elastic cord, and I am only going to add the last two pieces to one. So that Happy Looks Good on You silicone focal bead, and then the tassel. Now I'm going to take the end that I strung the tassel and the silicone focal bead on. I'm going to skip that tassel, and I'm going to go right back up through the Happy Looks Good on You silicone focal bead. Pull those ends together so that you've got two tails right in the middle of your keychain. And then we're just going to go through and give it a triple knot for good measure. So we're going to go two, and then on that third, we're going to give an extra little loop around of that cord. Tie it together. And then we're going to go through with a tiny pair of scissors and just snip those ends. And then you can shimmy the beads right over top of that knot so that you can hide the tail. And make sure that we've got this cord on there, and you're good to go. So you've got that really fun keychain. I really love this look. So fun. Okay, next up, let's make the Friends keychain. So we've got one of our black keychains, and we're going to untwist the bottom ball. Add the Friends silicone. Got our bumblebee rhinestone bead, a crystal rondelle spacer, and then the red and azure splatter. And then we'll add that bottom ball right back on to the keychain to keep all the beads on, just like so. I also like to recommend putting a little dab of E6000 glue on that bottom rung of the screw before you screw it in place, just to make sure that it doesn't accidentally come undone when in use. And then we're gonna take, this is one of our eye pins, sorry, not the eye pin, the head pin. The eye pins have a loop on the end. This is a head pin that just has a flat bottom. And we're gonna add one of these little bitty pumpkin spacers. This is what they are. They're these little tiny itty bitty 4mm pumpkin spacers. And then a red illusion bead, and then another itty bitty. And you need those spacers just so that these 12mm bead holes don't fall back through the bottom of that eye pin. You need it to, the hole to be a little smaller. So if the hole in your bead is too small, is too big for that eye pin, that's how you're gonna make it so that the eye pin doesn't fall through the bead. Then you're gonna take your side cutters and you're gonna trim somewhere between 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch off of that wire ending. And you're going to take a pair of pliers and fold over the end so that it's flat. Then you're going to take your round nose pliers and loop that metal to make a top eye little hook. And then you got to leave a little bit of a gap so that you can attach that wire to the end of the chain on the keychain, and then finish looping it in the rest of the way so that it's tight and doesn't come off. And there you go. So there's the Friends keychain. And then last but not least, let's make up this lanyard. We've got, this is the ivory satin 1.5mm satin cord. Even though this silicone bead is white, I really prefer the look of ivory whenever possible. It just has a little bit, also I don't have to worry about it getting dirty as much, right? It's already got a little bit of a tone to it. So anytime you're using browns or golds, you can get away with using the ivory satin over the white, even if you've got white on the project. Length of the satin cord, always a big question. Totally your preference. Some people like them longer, some people like them shorter. 42 inches starting length is a good ballpark, but sometimes people are going to want them longer and sometimes people are going to want them shorter. So super personal preference on where you want your lanyard to hit. Fold it in half. You're going to take that folded piece and put it through the bottom of the swivel of the keychain. And pull that through just like we did the elastic on the other keychain. And then you've got your two ends, and you're going to take a lighter and just singe the ends of this satin cord together. And this is going to do two things. It is going to make it so you're only working with one tail instead of two. Always helpful to not have two pieces of cord that you're trying to push through things. But it's also making it harder, like physically hard. So this is nice and stiff versus, this is flexible. So it's easier to thread through. And that makes it so you don't necessarily need a beading needle. So you can just push those tails right through. So we've got the rhinestone and the leopard bead, the powder pink matte bead, and then our silicone bead. Now this is the longest distance that we have to get through a hole on these silicone beads with. You could always make your melted portion a little bit longer, or sometimes you can get mostly there and then just have to give it a little push through with your bead reamer the rest of the way. You can see how I didn't burn quite. See how the burning ended right here? and the bead was that length. So that's the only reason it didn't go through all the way on its own. Got all your beads on, and then we're gonna go back up to the top and separate those pieces back out. And then we're gonna put our breakaway clasps, and I'm just tying the knot so that I don't have to measure. Again, I'm just tying it right at the bottom of where I melted. And this is the latte breakaway clasp. It pairs really nicely with the ivory satin cord. It's a little bit darker, but they look nice together. It's a nicer look than using the white breakaway clasp with the ivory, in my opinion. All right, so we're gonna put those two clasps back at the top, and then it stamps together. So there you have it. We've got 4 fun projects for you that all feature 20mm rhinestone beads, which a lot of colors have just restocked over on the website at abcbeadsupply.com.